Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Tuesday night, so it is time to get back into another series. And the one we're going to start breaking down now is Only Murders in the Building. And of course, I got my two faithful cohorts coming down with me. What's going on tonight, AK? How we feeling?
Ah, chilling, man.
Ready to
Chilling,
break
chilling. Here to discuss the things.
all of the things, all the quirkiness, and all the madness, try to figure out who done it. The other detective on this caper with us is the realest detective of them all. What's up, Phantom? How we doing tonight?
Yo, I think I solved the case.
He said, I'm in on it.
And it wasn't Oliver. It wasn't Oliver.
He's like, that much, that's all we need to know. Oliver Putnam did not do it. It is not him. He is not the killer. We're going to find out, though. It's going to be wild. And yeah, I can't wait to see if we can crack this case before the end of the season and they give us all the answers. But this one's called Only Murders in the Building, Season 1, Episode 1, True Crime. And they get straight to the point in this open with two of our main characters rushing in a seemingly dangerous situation to go grab their partner in crime and get her to safety, only to rush in on her covered in blood, kneeling over what looks to be a dead body. And they didn't waste any time. They just getting right into it. I was like, oh, did it make you think at all that they might be showing you the killer right out of the way and then they're going to like start switching it up and making you think it's not her and maybe she's the killer all along, Phantom?
Yeah, I think they're trying to pull the rug underneath our feet there. Like, why just like show us the murderer like that? All off the rip? I think it's just, I forgot what's the term of it. But I don't think it's her though.
You think it's
Especially
a
with the
shiny
it's
guy?
not what you think. Like I think she actually killed the murderer that what we're truly seeing, like near the end of the episode, during the middle of the episode, as we see that one guy that was in the elevator.
And you think that what did he? You thought he had what to do with it?
The person that was laid dead on the floor is the actual murderer
Uh,
of the series, not really who's like covered in blood.
so you think the dead person's the actual murderer?
Hmm.
All right. Ooh, how about you, AK? What do we think of this crazy quick open?
I liked it. They came in strong and got right to the point.
He said, are you at all thinking that Selena might be the killer? Mabel's the killer of all of them?
No,
You're not feeling her as a
no.
murderer yet?
I don't think it's any of the three main stars. I think there's someone that we haven't seen yet.
There we go. Phantom kind of opened that in the back room saying that he doesn't think we met the murderer yet either. So that'll be interesting. I like how they open with the mystery and then kind of walk it back to see if we can solve it along the way. I like that. And we start off with a peek into the life of Steve Martin's character, Charles Hayden, and he's pretty much a washed up actor and he's a has been, but he was so happy to be out on the streets and run into an old fan out there. And that is until said fan started divulging way too much information about his dying dad and how it'd be better for the family if he just let go. And I'm like, my guy, you just met this man. I'm like, is it really like that on New York? You just start talking to strangers?
No,
Hell to the no.
hell
Damn
no.
it. It's a and age.
I was
Even
like,
after COVID? Hell no.
Uh-uh.
I was just like, that just seems off to me. And then we meet Mabel Mora, Selena's character, and she tells us about the perils of being a woman living in New York City. And it was interesting hearing her tell us about her reoccurring dream about how she kills a man with her knitting needles, and this helps her to sleep like a baby at night. Like, this doesn't go very far into helping prove her innocence, does it, Phantom?
Aha, there we go. Now it's red herring. Red herring is the term I was remembering. Yeah, it's all a red herring. Again, it is trying to mislead us or thinking that she is the actual murderer, but I don't think so. Especially how the episode ends. Still, I'm like, come on, what you trying to do here, people? What you doing, writers?
Messing with
But
her.
I still don't think she is. It's possible that she is capable of killing someone. That I know for sure.
There you go. That's what you check out of it. What's up, Jay Cruz? I see you out there. We got Jackie C in the house. Welcome, welcome. You guys checking it out? Have you seen the first two episodes of Only Murder in the Building? Because it is quirky and a fun little ride, I got to tell you. Full disclosure, I've seen the first two seasons, but I was excited to see that they are getting ready to start filming a season 3 right after the new year. So we should kind of roll right into that, knock it out, and then be ready to go when they open that one back up. So that'll be tight. Oliver Putnam's introduction, played by Martin Short, was like short and sweet, but like Phantom's in the back room, we can already tell he's all kinds of extra. Like, I mean, they just opened it up. They didn't have to say much, just the way he acted when he almost got ran over in the streets by that car. I felt like that's more like how New Yorkers are.
Yeah, that's 100%.
I'm walking over here. Don't you see the coat?
Like
That's
that
all.
coat you could have saw from freaking on top of from possibly the Eiffel, not the Eiffel Tower. What the hell is wrong with me? I say no, I have no sleep. From the Statue of Liberty, damn it.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to see that thing glowing from miles away. And we see, even though all three live in the same residence, none are very friendly with each other. Like, except for Oliver, he's all about throwing out the friendly vibes. But the other two aren't really picking up what he's laying down. Like most New Yorkers, they want nothing to do with this guy. Like, let me stay in my own lane. You can just keep it moving. Like, they all live in New York in the same building and like listening to the same podcast. They have no idea just how much they all have in common. And it's funny how Charles has no problem like talking to old fans that are like total strangers, but wants nothing to do with his own neighbors and his own building. Like, that's kind of a weird thing, isn't it, Phantom?
Hell no. It's like the saying, like if you see something, say something. But in New York, we see something and we keep walking.
So we ain't saying
Facts.
shit. It's like we just stay to ourselves.
We are not getting involved at all.
You just stay in your own lane no matter what, huh? With all that seemingly animosity built up, it made it even better when during a fire alarm going off, they ran into each other at a bar across the street and realized they're all huge fans of the True Crime podcast. And how smooth was Oliver, like when it came time to pay the bill and Mabel asked if she could pay, and he was like, absolutely not, and grabbed it and then instantly handed it over to Charles to pay. That man's got moves. Oh, I'm loving that.
She's freaking Jack Frost, man.
Oh man. And I like how they all get clever to make their way into the building to see what's really going on. But I mean, that was kind of ridiculous how they just waltzed into the actual crime scene without anybody noticing or there to stop them. Like, that would never happen, would it? Like, if there was a crime scene in your building?
Nah, it wouldn't.
I don't see how that would actually happen at all. Because they would have locked off the whole building.
Yeah.
Especially if they evacuated everyone, there's no side secret entrance that anybody's getting past. I mean, well, you might get past it, but you might get shot about 30 times too if you try it. So I don't recommend.
Don't make that move. Jake says, talk slower. I'm not done yet. Hey, you had 2 weeks. We pushed it off an extra week. We're going to be doing 2 at a time. Just to know, from here on out, we're going to be doing 2 episodes at a time. So make sure you get both watched because, this only being a half hour each, we're just going to roll right through them.
Yeah, they do go quick.
It's going to be a quick one. And that's what kind of makes it fun, too.
Yeah, I like that format.
Selena's acting is better than usual in this show. Yeah, she's killing. Dude, the three-way intro.
Well, she's an adult now.
All 3 of them are great. Yeah, that's true, too. Absolutely. She's grown up quite a bit. That detective was having none of it. Like, she's like, if I meet one more ramped up true crime fan, like, she seems like she's always dealing with this. Like, is that a big thing? Are crime podcasts a huge thing out in New York, Phantom?
To my knowledge, no. But her line of work, it's not surprising for her. Where people are just constantly like around crime scene that they, I know X, Y, and Z because, I saw this show or listened to this podcast. So it's not more of a New Yorker thing. It's more of because of her line of work.
It's also like a cultural thing. There's a lot of true crime channels that are on YouTube that you can find very easily.
Of course. But our crew was right. They saw him just an hour earlier, and that man did not seem very suicidal. He seemed irritated by something, but he definitely didn't seem suicidal. So, I mean, I think they were definitely on the right track. And halfway through the evening, 2 of them remembered the man getting onto the elevator with a bag of garbage, which made no sense at all because every floor has their own garbage chute. So why is he carrying it up and down in the elevator? So off to the basement they go to dig up more clues. But alas, all they find are notes that make it seem like it really was just a suicide. At that point, were you kind of feeling like that was just a suicide and this isn't the track that they're really going to be going down?
Hell no.
He said something's fishy going on and they're already on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
What's with Charles making all those omelets and just throwing them away, okay?
I think it's for the same reason that his neighbor that came by and asked them about, I don't know, it might have been his ex-wife or his daughter. It wasn't revealed. We just know it was a woman. And she used to cook omelets all the time, and that neighbor loved how they smelled. And that reminded him of her. So I think he does it for the same reason.
Just
because the doing it and then the scent of it helps him cope with whatever loss he faced with that person.
Somebody called Lucy.
Yeah.
He used to make omelets for Lucy. The next day, not being able to get past it, Mabel remembers the phone conversation their murdered neighbor was having on the elevator, and they work out that Bunny, another resident, may have received his package by mistake, and it could be a clue to what really happened to him. And how bored are these people to just keep making things up like this and like just have to get something going on in their life? That's what I kind of took out of this. I'm like, you live in New York and your life was so boring, you have to try to make up some murder mystery and try to go Scooby Doo it.
Bro, you'd be surprised.
That was crazy to me. So two then decide it'd be a great idea to break into said neighbor's home while she's out. And I'm like, really? Just breaking and entering? This is just no big deal. I was like, I don't know. That was crazy.
You know what? About that part though, isn't she like the super or well, not the super,
Yeah,
but
the building
Head of the board.
the property manager or something?
Mhm,
Like,
yeah.
and y'all breaking into her apartment?
right?
I mean, come on now, and didn't wear no gloves.
Didn't think twice about it either. Just, hey, let's just go break into this house. And then speaking of like too much information, Charles just goes deep real quick when he's trying to break into the door when Mabel asked him about living alone for so long. I was like, that's kind of a random deep story so quick. I'm like, and then we find out later it wasn't the truth, or is it? That was kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, very. He's got some trauma that he needs to get over, I think.
Exactly. That's why. Yeah, there's a reason he's not good with people. But speaking of living alone, how sad was it that seeing like Oliver having to grovel to his own son for another handout? Like, what a rough situation that would be on both ends. Like, had to be tough needing to ask for the money in the first place, and even tougher to have to tell your dad, "No, I'm not paying your rent again." Like, how do you deal with that situation, Phantom?
That was sad. And then he was like, "Oh, you can still stay for dinner." And he's like, "Of course." He hopes that his father was gonna stay for dinner, but it's gonna make it hell too awkward. Like, I'm gonna stay for dinner, and not too long ago, you just denied handout. That was upsetting. But at least like right afterwards, he gets the call saying like, "Oh, the case is still back up," and then it goes right back to how his first scene where that character falls and gets back up, and that's what really happens to him. He falls and gets right back up.
Absolutely. They kind of do a little montage of all of our characters kind of doing that.
Yeah.
Falling and getting back onto it and just finding a new way. Like, you just got to keep going no matter how hard it gets. But yeah, that would be tough. I mean, like, what do you do? I mean, you paid your mom's rent like so many times, and then she comes in asking again. And I mean, you're like, you got to sell it. You can't afford it. And they're like, they just look at you and like, oh, it's all I have in life. I can't do it. Like, oh boy, was like, man, I'm really sorry to hear that. Like, that was just a rough scene all around.
It seems like he's also struggling too now. It's like he's kind of like a struggling director. The other one's a struggling actor. Yeah. Selena, they really don't say.
Yeah, well,
the character.
They kind of barely touch on it in the second episode. But did Charles and Mabel really just break into that woman's apartment and leave with a package from inside? Like, in what universe does this happen, or is this okay in? Literally just walked in. She's got
they are completely wilding on that one. That's absurd. Again, with no gloves on your hands, and then they broke into the other apartment. And no footies were on until after you already came through and stepped in the evidence.
Oh, the absurdity of it all.
So absurd.
My question was the guy's name even on the package? Because if so, if the name was on the package, why didn't she like give that to the authorities?
True. When the cops
didn't they find that after, like the day after?
No, because in the elevator he was like, "Did you guys like deliver to the right apartment?" Because it keeps happening.
Right. He was already
when they were on the elevator up. So I mean, you can have your name and everything on the package, and it still go to the wrong place.
But she still up taking it out. So when she took it out, like she didn't bother to like, oh wait, this isn't mine. This is the person who got murdered.
I don't think she. Oh wait, you're talking about Bunny, right? Mm-hmm. The lady who she didn't open the package.
Yeah,
it's highly possible that because they opened it when they got there.
Right, but if his name was on it, I think he's asking, like, if his name was on it and she's the building manager, why hadn't she already given the box to him? Like, just go take it to his apartment and give it to him. Like, why is it still in her place? And even more so, once he died, wouldn't that be something like, hey, this package actually got delivered to me? I don't know if it's a clue or something, but here.
Might possibly have slipped our mind. Honestly, I mean, those situations can be touchy sometimes. even though it seems nobody really liked him, I think she just didn't think about it at that point in time. So she just left it there, or perhaps she meant to give it to him later once she knew he was home. I don't know.
Well, speaking of new clues, it looks like the man that was killed was an old friend of Selena's and one of her old Hardy Boys crew, in fact. Like, why would she keep that major piece of information from Oliver and Charles? Like, is it going to wind up that she really is the killer, AK?
I don't think so. I
so?
think all three of them have some different type of trauma that happened to get them stuck in the place that they are right now. So, and I think that plays into why they even all came together. They're a bunch of lonely people. And this one thing they found out that they all three enjoy, and that was the connection jump off point.
Yeah, Steve Martin and Martin Short have been out of the game for a minute. That's why it's kind of so cool to see them come back to this and be so quirky. And like I said, they're just intertwining of all three of these characters. They just mesh perfectly.
Yeah, they do. It's a great trio.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they're just too good.
And all of them executive produced the show, too. So that's awesome.
Exactly. So they kind of left us on that cliffhanger, kind of letting us know that she actually knew the person, and just kind of leaving that question up in the air, kind of trying to give you that red herring that maybe she's the killer and just always keep you guessing. But that was episode 1, kind of short and sweet, and got right through it. And yeah, what did we think of it? Your first episode in, really not knowing what to think of anything, fandom?
So far, I loved it. Gave me some Adrian Monk vibes if he had, like, 2 others helping him out.
Breaking down the monk. That's excellent. How about you, AK? What do you think of the first episode out?
I liked it. I really liked it.
Intrigued to watch more?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely keep it moving. Well, I got just a couple trivia questions. I don't know how much everybody was into it or how far they were. We'll just kind of knock out a couple of these and keep it moving into episode 2. Oh, but question number 1, if you know these answers, write them in the chat box. If you're watching later, put them in the comment section down below. What is the name of the crime podcast that all 3 characters listen to?
I forgot.
You know that one? Put it out in the chat box. What is the crime podcast all 3 characters listen to? And in that true crime podcast, what is the name of the missing girl? I went too deep too early on this one.
I didn't write anything
I was
down
so
for
close to
notes.
writing something down, then I was like, let me just watch it.
It's like, let me just watch this show. Oh, let's see here. There's either one. On that podcast, Ray had a dog. Do you remember what his dog's name was?
Is it something that starts with an M?
That is incorrect. How about this one? Do you remember what kind of dog it was?
Nope.
No,
I remember they were trying to figure out what was in his mouth.
Was it type of like lingerie or like clothes or something like that? Whatever, underwear.
What did they say was in Bo's mouth?
It was like underwear, lingerie, something like that.
There we go. We'll give you that one. Close enough. We got one. Becky's panties.
There we go.
Oh, what was the name of the supposedly man who killed himself?
Was it Kev?
That is incorrect.
Oh.
It's actually the name of the next episode. The name of episode 2. What was the man's name that supposedly killed himself? You're gonna be knowing that.
It wasn't Nick, was it?
It was not.
Something. Was it something Toro? Or Torvo? Maybe. I don't remember.
What tattoo does Mabel have on her left shoulder?
A whale.
There we go. She got a whale tattoo. Of course, the naked Selena. We know all about that answer. Gotcha.
Yeah. That was a good scene.
Saw that side boob. How long did Charles tell Mabel he'd lived in the building?
24 years.
That is incorrect.
12 years.
I was going to say 8. Oh, wait. No. It's higher than that.
That is indeed. Oh, and I just said this one. We'll end it on this one. Maybe we can get this one right. We just said the name. Who did Charles used to make the omelets for?
Lucy.
Hey, there we go. Ended on a banger. We got 2 of them. Oh, see, as the time goes on, if we can knock out a few more of those and get a little more in depth. But we're going to keep it moving. Only Murders in the Building, Season 1, Episode 2. And the name of this one is Who is Tim Kono?
Damn, so that's the name.
Damn it, yeah, that's what it was.
And we open on an old episode from Charles' series and get to see him as his infamous role in Brazos. And it was funny seeing Steve Martin with that like brown hair as a younger guy.
with the worst swoop Bieber wannabe over his forehead. Ugh. Horrible style.
And we then see it's actually Mabel watching old reruns of it, and while watching an episode, she hears the same monologue that he gave her about growing up with an asshole dad. And what's up, fandom? Why did he make up that story?
That's what I want to know in the first clip. I'm like, wait a minute. So he lied this whole time, so now I can't trust this guy. I can't trust Selena. Can't trust his character. So far, the only character I can kind of trust right now is Oliver.
See? So I was like, you're already trying to cut it out, saying it's not one of the three characters that's the murderer, but yet we got some suspects.
Then he kind of explains it later, but then it's like, you're an actor. So it's like, you could still be lying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was incorrect. J. Cruz. Oh, yeah, their action was classic.
Is it 35 years old? Yeah.
That is incorrect. No. So the three are full on into making their own True Crime podcast, and Oliver is killing me with his direction. Like, I can't tell if he's the worst producer director or the best, but I am loving all his extraness of the show so far. Like, Oliver Putnam is definitely one of the best characters of all. And you gotta love these types of shows. Like, every new character they introduce, I'm like, is this the killer? Are they the killer? Like, why did they open up on this guy? Why are they panning over that person? Did they do it? Like, you find yourself doing that during this?
And it didn't help that during the whole, what was it, the Awake or something that they were having?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one liked this guy. And the moment that they were all sad about the dog dying, then Tim dying.
That part was hilarious.
Oh, dang. And Bunny was killing me. Like, that's exactly how I picture a New York building manager acting and talking. She just ain't taking no.
That is a high class building manager.
Right. She's taking no mess from anybody. Like, I'm not playing games with you.
Yeah. Like, I like you, but your rent is due, motherfucker.
Oh, so classic New York style, just keeping it real. Like, I hated that guy. Can we use our fireplaces again? And like, he's the reason we couldn't use our fireplaces. I hate that guy.
What was it? Because he had like asthma or some shit.
Like,
bro, then move.
Right?
That sounds like a you problem. The whole building got to suffer because of you.
Oh, I was dying. And Bunny's like, oh, come on now. Let's just all be glad that he's gone. I'm like, as this is all going down at his latest gathering, Stash Wake, I was dying. I was loving it. And that was great when Oliver asked, like, do you consent to being recorded? Just say anything to okay. And dude's like, no, please don't. He's like, great, go on, with the phone right up in his face.
I was wondering, like, wait a minute. Like, did he really just give a consent or not?
Oh, Oliver didn't give a shit. Yeah, that wake was one of the best scenes yet. I was dying. It was also funny how everybody, like you said, was just way more distraught over that cat than their own neighbor that passed. Like, nobody cared about him, but everybody's all shook up that the cat died. I was like, I think it would almost be like that in real life. Like, that whole scene was killing me. Oliver knows how to live that life, though, on a dime. Like I was saying, like, getting free drinks at the bars, got his son paying his rent, steals half the food from the wake to keep it moving. Like, my man knows how to live on a dime. It was like, I don't know. He was cracking me up. But, I mean, you can do what you got to do. Want to save that money? Shit, you got all this food at the wake. Hell yeah, I'm taking some of it home with me. I don't know, something about that.
I would do the same thing, honestly. Like, if I had, like, a to-go plate, I'm taking food home.
Oh, it wasn't a to-go plate. He just started taking satchels of everything. He's like, I'm taking all this home. That was amazing. Side note, Mabel is a hell of an artist. Like, those sketches of Tim through the years were dope that she had made on her little pad there. Like, she's an
So I was wondering, like, okay, so is she an artist or something? Like,
yeah.
That's what they're hinting?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, she's the one that draws. They showed him drawing it. Like, yeah, she's amazing. And when we see Mabel's flashback, we see Tim had lived there pretty much his whole life. Like, how did Charles not know him better if that kid's been there ever since, like, he's lived there?
Again, he only cares about himself, really.
I mean, are New Yorkers really that standoffish? Like, you live in the same building with somebody for 28 years and you don't have any idea who it is or even what their name is?
Yes, because before I moved to my parents' place, I lived in that condominium for like over 5 years. There are people in that building that I have never seen in the same floor. And occasionally be walking by, I'm like, who the hell is this? And they're like, occasionally one person said, oh, hello. I said, hey. And at one point, they had a conversation. They said, oh, I've been here since the building opened. I'm like, what? Like, don't be surprised.
Oh, we got a legend that hit the chat. What's up, Iron Chone? I see you out there. Welcome, welcome. You seen the only murders in the building? It's quirky. I think you might like it.
Hell, I moved here, and yet I have yet to meet a neighbor. Or said, hello, my name. I just moved in recently. Since August. Here we are in freaking November.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, I've lived here forever, and I've never talked to my neighbor. Like, there's been a dozen different neighbors that lived across from us, and I haven't really talked to any of them. So yeah, it is kind of weird how be out there in the streets, but don't even know your own neighbors. It is kind of wild these days.
That's the day and age we live in.
But the crew find out that they're coming to clean out Tim's apartment tomorrow, so if they want to find out any more clues, they're going to have to act fast. And it sounds like a great excuse for another breaking of an entering trip. And just the fearlessness of going in and breaking into people's homes like it's no big deal just boggles my mind. Like, this is New York City. You're going to get shot. Something's going to happen.
I was just about to say that. It's going to happen eventually.
Shot or stabbed.
Right? It's like, you just being there breaking into people's homes. Like, what is this? Like, and just no problem. Like, no repercussion worries. Just like, yeah, let's just go break into their house and start taking shit. I'm like, what? What world do we live in? But Mabel decides it's time for her to make a video just in case she's the next one on the murder list. And two of her OG Hardy Boys crew have now been killed, and she's kind of worried that she may be next. Is this kind of a link of what's happening? Is that what's going down? People are going back and killing her old crew for some reason, fandom?
And that's what I'm thinking, that the person we saw in episode 1 on that damn floor is the other Hardy Boy member. But at the same time, is that another red herring to make us throw us off? We're like, no, that's not the actual murderer. That in that flashback, maybe that wasn't the other Hardy Boy potentially throwing that girl off the roof, but it was someone else. So it's just so much it's happening that we did not see.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. The fact that when we saw that she went to go see him, and that was one of her actual old best friends, and then she goes to talk to him in the building now that she's staying there, and he's like, just act like we don't know each other. Like, that whole thing was kind of weird and off.
Yeah, because we at the end of episode 1, I was like, hold up, let me replay that elevator scene. It doesn't even seem like they were even acknowledging each other. At least Selena Selena Gomez's character.
So that's the whole situation of suspect right there.
As soon as I saw that, that's what really drew me in. I was like, oh wait, this shit goes a lot deeper than we thought.
Like, I didn't even put that together. And Tim told her that he saw someone arguing with Zoe that night before she died. She also said that that's the only thing that he's ever lied about. So why did he lie about that? What was it? What do you think's going on with that situation, fandom? He saw somebody arguing with the girl, and then she's murdered a couple minutes later. And then when the cops come, he doesn't say anything. Like, what's up with that? Or was it him that did it? Maybe
it's either fear or money.
Or guilt. What if he's the one that did it and he's just trying to put that out there so there's like another alibi so she can say that, he said there was somebody else out there, this type of situation.
Could be too. Never thought about it that way.
Fear, money, or guilt, though. I'm thinking it's got to be one of those three. But yeah, when he said he saw somebody out there arguing with her, like, why would he not say anything about that? Like, and she said specifically, she stated a few times in this episode that he never lies. So why would he lie about that? And I mean, it's such a big deal of his personality that he never lies.
Unless he was in love with that other Hardy Boy member, and he didn't want to say anything.
Didn't want to get his boy in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
That could be.
Maybe.
But our crew find a pool of blood with cat prints in it, which means the cat was there after Tim was killed. But then someone also had to kill the cat. And then the boys realized that their list just got longer. We got more suspects coming every episode. And Mabel decides to take another look at Tim's apartment, and we see she's full on crazy as she hallucinates seeing him and has a little conversation with his ghost. Like, are we going to find out that this is some kind of 13 Monkeys type situation, and this is all just happening in her head? Like, she's really just daydreaming in some mental hospital somewhere?
Well, damn. Now I got to scratch off the 13 Monkeys off my go watch list now. Thank you, DJ.
You're talking about 13 Monkeys with Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah, Bruce Willis. And yeah, I think Brad Pitt's in it.
Wait, wasn't there like a TV series of 13 Monkeys, though?
It might have been, yeah. I think
maybe.
It was a movie. I think they might have made a series out of it. I don't remember. But yeah,
it was a TV show, so maybe it's not based off the same thing. Maybe it's not off my list then. It was at 4 seasons.
Trust me, I didn't spoil anything. That goes so many levels. There's no spoiling it. Just try to keep up with that movie. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, we don't even know. Maybe this is all just happening in her head. She did say something earlier about how she dreams about stabbing a guy to death, and then it makes her sleep like a baby. That sure sounds like some mental hospital situations might be happening. I do not know. Like you said, she already dreamt of stabbing a man to death with a sewing needle, and then that's what made her sleep like a baby. So maybe she's just crazy, and we're about to find out. But either way, Mabel is on a mission. Who is Tim Kono? She is about to fucking find out. And we are 2 episodes in, and I don't know, do we have any ideas whatsoever, AK, who the killer might be yet?
Any idea on who the killer is? I need more information.
Yeah, they're just kind of getting started. So, do you, again, so even 2 episodes in, do you still think we haven't seen the killer yet, or it's somebody we met maybe?
I still think we haven't seen the killer. Oh wait, how many episodes is it this for the first season? Like 8?
I want to say 10. I'm not 100% on that. Google that real quick. But, yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's see, I got IMDb up. Let's see. Yeah, there's 10. I think we have to wait till like at least maybe an episode, like halfway through, and then I'll be sure or not if you have seen the murderer. Because we still don't even know if what's his face? Of the 4 Hardy Boys, there's still like one other we don't even know if he's still alive.
Yeah, they said that he's in jail getting ready to get out, didn't they?
Oh, they did?
When they did that flashback with Selena talking to the one guy, didn't she say that old boy's getting ready to get out?
In that case, oh yeah, and that literally happened. So yeah, so if he's still alive, then still close to tell. Because in a cell, he can literally be the one that's dead on the floor in episode 1, potentially be the murderer. Because
So
if she finds out that, oh, well, he brought that engagement ring for Selena's character, then I could have been like, oh, you're gonna, propose to me, X, Y, and Z. Because it does show in a flashback they have feelings for each other.
That's true. That is true. You think maybe he's already out and she doesn't even know it? And he's already out killing people, and she just thinks that he hasn't been released yet?
Could be that too.
Oh, wait, what was the last part you said?
That maybe Selena was saying that old boy was just getting ready to get out of jail, but maybe he's already out and she doesn't even know it yet. So he's already out and he's on this killing spree and he's a murderer.
I suppose that could be possible.
I mean, from what
but I think at that point in time, because that was kind of a flashback that they showed. At that point in time, she knew he was about to get out, and I think wasn't that like 2 months ago or something?
I have no idea how long ago that was.
I thought I saw them flash that at like the bottom of the screen, but I could be misremembering.
No, first was the death, and then it went back 2 months.
Yeah, when they very first opened the episode.
Then there was like another flashback. So I think it was before those 2 months.
So it might even have been earlier than 2 months before that. Oh, as you can tell, they got us guessing right off the rip. We have no idea where it's at, who's what, or what's what, but definitely excited to keep it moving forward and find out. So that was the end of episode 2, and yeah, like I said, it had me drawn in fairly quickly. How are you feeling about it 2 episodes in, Phantom?
Well, I'm intrigued. Like I said before, once episode 2 ended, I'm like, damn it, I gotta wait until 2 weeks to even get to episode 3 and 4. Then I gotta constantly go every damn week to get another damn follow-up.
Yeah.
It's just like what was it? Umbrella Academy, just like what was it, The Boys? I had to damn wait while other people already in the damn stream already saw it ahead of me and know what's about to happen.
Oh, it's like, that's murderous. Oh, but it's gonna be a fun one trying to see you guys trying to figure out who is the actual killer and who is doing all this murdering in this building.
I gotta rewatch like the first episode, first scene again, because the way how it kind of started was like Oliver and Steve's character are like kind of upset with Selena's character or something. I don't know. It's like they kind of find out, like possibly with episode 9, that she had like a past relationship with Tim, and they just now learned of it. So it kind of were separated or something, and now something happened that they were like wanted to talk to her, learning who's the true murderer, and then next thing you know, there's like a body in front of her bleeding. That's my guess.
All right, I like that. Got a little path, a little plan how it's going to work out. Well, I'm excited to find out, and yeah, we're definitely going to keep it moving. And this will be the new Tuesday thing. Every single Tuesday, going to be knocking out 2 more episodes and just trying to figure this out before they reveal who the real murderer is. Oh, and speaking of trying to reveal, we're going to see who knows any more trivia, see if you can get a few more off the second episode than the first one. If you know these answers, put them in the chat box. If you're watching later, write them in the comment section down below. What floor did Tid Kono live on?
14?
Incorrect.
Is it the 7th?
That was also incorrect. What's up, chat? Anybody out there remember what floor did Tim Kono live on?
Or the 5th?
That is incorrect as well. Oh, what's the name of the building they all live in?
Yeah, no clue.
Marcones?
That is close. That is close.
Funny, in all the freaking little notes I made, I did not write that down. Like, oh my gosh.
They don't have me 100% yet. We can keep them guessing. Oh, we'll see if we can remember the name. What was the name of the man's cat that died?
Whiskers?
Even Martin Short and Steve Martin couldn't remember. Selena had to come in and remind them. What was the name of the man's cat that died? What's up, chat? Anybody remember the name of the kitty?
Yeah, I totally don't remember.
What is the name of the kitty cat? And speaking of, what kind of cat was it?
The white cat? Egyptian cat?
It's kind of funny because that does correlate with the name. That is a funny guess. Anybody out there remember what kind of cat it was? And keeping it moving, what floor did the therapist that takes Venmo say he lived on?
Yeah, he kept interjecting that. I respect the hustle. Spotlight. I respect the hustle.
Absolutely. Oh, man. We got Jake making a few guesses. That is incorrect. Except for this one. Oh, I already put that one on. You got that one right, Jake. He lived on the 9th floor. Tim Conan lived on the 9th floor. Well done, you. You are close with these other ones, man. It's not quite that, but that is very close. And it's not quite that, but that is very close. And you're spot on with that one. It was a blonde tabby, a sweet blonde tabby. Well done, you. Jake knocking it out. He must have just watched it. Because I know he just watched it if he got that one right. Absolutely correct. The therapist said he lived on the 6th floor, and he does take Venmo. 100% correct. What book did Mabel hand Tim in the flashback?
The Hardy Boys?
It was a Hardy Boy book. We'll give you that. Anybody, you know the name of the actual title? It was a Hardy Boys book. We'll give you that. Oh, extra credit. Who knows the actual name of the title of it?
Weird as hell that he was carving out the freaking pages and putting the stuff that they stole in them.
Yeah, like what the hell? So did he just have that volume, all those books, and then decided to cut them up and use them as jewelry cases for the stuff they stole, or did that come after? Like what exactly is he into?
Well, I mean, he was into. I mean, that's a book that she gave him, and he's obviously got, was probably crushing on her more than he's adding on or showing. So yeah, maybe. That is the name of the cat, Evelyn. Well done, you. But yeah, that was a trip. I think he would just had a huge crush on Selena, and that's one of the first books he gave, and that's just kind of his own little mental psycho thing. He gets all Hardy Boy books and then hides all the stuff that they steal, like they used to do with kids in them. I think that's just his own little trip. But yeah, that was kind of wild that he had all that stuff. I was like, Oliver Putnam needs some of that money to pay rent. It's like, you might have just found it. Just hit a couple pawn shops. Oh, man. What city in the book did Mabel say they solved crimes? Ooh, that's a deep dive. That's way too
Boondocks?
Incorrect, but that's actually a good
What
guess.
Was the question?
What city in the book did Mabel say they solved crimes? Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys solved crimes in what city?
Yeah, I can't remember, and it's been far too long since I've read those books.
Yeah. Oh, another deep dive. What's Mabel's aunt's name? The apartment she's staying in. What's her aunt's name?
Syrup.
Syrup?
Because her name is Maple, so Syrup.
Shut the hell up. Can't stand his ass.
Oh, you get credit for that one. We giving extra credit points for that one. Absolutely. Look at Jake knocking it out. Absolutely. The name of that book was The Missing Chums. Well done.
Well, yeah, he just got done watching.
All right. He's killing it. Sick it, App Maple. Oh, shit. That's awesome. What apartment did Mabel's aunt live in?
Okay, so let me see.
Yep, I don't remember that.
But I might have wrote that one down.
10th?
That might be a floor, but that is incorrect. What apartment did Mabel's aunt live in?
Oh.
Anybody in the chat got that one? Oh my gosh, yeah, Jake, he must have it on the screen right now because he is killing it. Oh my god, dude. Oh, wait a minute, no, we didn't. I had it too big. I actually zoomed in on it. That is incorrect, Jake. I thought you had it. Close, but no cigar. That is also incorrect.
I almost want to say 13th, but still not sure.
Yep, that is incorrect as well. Oh, you were so close, Jake. I thought you had it. You were blowing my mind for a second. Where did Mabel live as a child?
Long Island?
There it is. We got one. Nailed it. Long Island, indeed. What did Charles say he gave out instead of tips at Christmas?
Autographed pictures with his dumb ass. And he wonders why nobody likes him.
Oh, that little that Oliver gave him during that was amazing. That was everything. He's like, you know what?
And he's so clueless to that right now.
Oh, that was fantastic. And last but not least, what did Oliver say he once named his female pet parakeet?
What did Oliver say when?
What did Oliver say he once named his female pet parakeet?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no clue. I got nothing.
Oh, what's up? That's the last deep dive, last question. If you know that one, write in the chat box. If you're watching later, write it in the comment section down below. What did he name his female parakeet when he was a kid? Oh, man, but that is it. Short and sweet and running right through it. That is Only Murders in the Building, episode 1 and 2. And we're definitely going to be back on next Tuesday with episode 3 and 4 and see if we can't get a few more things worked out. Find out who this murder is. Who's killing all these people in the building? Only Murders in the Building. So that's going to do it for us. You guys got anything going on? You doing the trivia? I know we got Thanksgiving this Thursday. Want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. Hope everybody gets plenty of bird and gets their say down. What are you guys doing the trivia on Friday?
We off. It's Thanksgiving week. We can't do it.
Yeah, we're not doing it. We're doing
the
it
itis,
the Friday after, I think.
The itis still prolongs after Thursday. Now, you know this.
We're going to be taking naps on Friday.
Damn right.
Feel it. Oh, man. Yeah, if another one doesn't come through, I'm looking at my buddy once when he watched this new show, Peripheral or whatever. He says it's pretty cool, so I'm going to check that one out.
Yeah, that's on my list, too.
Ain't that on Amazon?
Yeah.
Amazon Prime, yeah.
Yeah, about the girl going in the going type of machine and seeing the future or something, like an AI future thing, whatever.
Yeah, I really have no idea.
That sounds familiar, but it's with the little girl from Kick-Ass.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
My boy, he says it's like a cross between James Bond meets Neo in the Matrix type of
deal. James Bond.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailers for it. It does look really good.
So, yeah, he says it's amazing, and yeah, we turn each other on to a lot of good shows. So if he says it's pretty good, I'm kind of excited to watch it. So we'll be into that. That might be one of the next ones up, and if not, we might be doing 2x2 of these by week just to be able to get through the first 2 seasons, and I'll be ready for that third one. So stay tuned, click that bell, subscribe, and we'll let you know exactly where it's going. But other than that, I hope everybody else has an absolutely fantastic week. Get all the bird you need to have, and have a very happy Thanksgiving. You guys have an amazing rest of the week, everybody. Be easy.